Hi guys, welcome to our postpartum series. Today we're going to start with a little bit of breathing as usual, just to get ourselves nice and grounded and relaxed. So really take this time for yourself and let's get started. So sitting in a comfortable position, either with your legs crossed or out in front of you. Just make sure you're tall in your spine with good posture. Open up those shoulders. And let's close our eyes for a few deep breaths. So once again, we're gonna go into some belly breathing just to get our core activated. So I want you to take a big inhale through the nose. Send the breath into the belly, expanding out as much as you can. Hold it at the top. Now I want you to exhale through the mouth and contract the abs. So letting all the air out, coming down and down and down. Well done. Let's do that again. So big inhale, sending the breath all the way down into the belly. Hold it at the top. Now big exhale through the mouth, contracting the abs as you do this. Well done. Let's come to all fours to get started today. So bringing ourselves up to all fours with our hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Get your back nice and straight, gaze at the top of your mat. We're gonna do a few more breaths or abdominal hollowings like we did on the first session together. So on your inhale, I want you to drop your belly down, purposefully expanding it out. And then on your exhale, you're gonna bring the belly up towards the spine, cinching it inwards like you're wearing that imaginary corset. So let's begin. Take a big inhale and expand. Exhale, contract. So like a vacuum, you're really sucking it all up and in. Let's go again. Big inhale. Exhale. You want to exhale to let all the air out of the body. Let's keep going with that. Inhale, expand at the belly. Exhale, you let everything go and cinch inwards. And again. Keep going. Let's do one more. And back to your natural breathing. Okay, from here, we're gonna go into a opposite arm and leg extension, but we're gonna keep it nice and simple and keep the arm and leg really low to really activate the core, really taking our time, slow and controlled, focusing on our bodies and our movements. So we're gonna start by extending our left arm and our right leg in a straight line, grazing it against the floor. So we exhale to extend. So when you're here, you want to make sure your hips are staying squared up to the mat. They're not tilting. You're keeping your gaze at your fingers or at the front of your mat. You're not looking down. You're not looking up. You're looking in front of you. And then let's bring it back with control. Back to start, over to the other side. So it's important you do this very slow and controlled so you can feel your core working, okay? So let's keep going. Exhale, extend. Take an inhale to hold. Exhale, bring it back to center. So I want you to consciously activate your core to extend and to pull it back in. So let's just keep going with that. Let's do one more on each side. Well done. Bring it back to center and you can push yourself into a child's pose. So sitting into your feet and extending your arms in front. Just take a few deep breaths here. Feeling a release in your back. And we can come back up to all fours from here. Well done. We're going to be doing a small knee lift now. So that's really going to get into our core, and it's kind of a variation of a plank or a bear hold, some people like to call it. I like to call it knee lifts. So you want to make sure your hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We won't be holding it for too long because we're still early in our postpartum series. So I want you to curl your toes under and just lift the knees only a couple inches from the mat. So we lift and hold. You want to be pressing through the hands, keeping your waist cinched in and your back straight. Keep breathing and come back down. Take a big breath in. We're going to do that again. So let's get ourselves ready. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift and hold. Inhales and exhales. Stay focused. And back down. Let's do 2 more sets like that. So let's get in position. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift and hold. You can do it. And back down. Well done. We're going to do 1 more. Stay strong. We're really bringing those abs up when we lift. So keep thinking of that imaginary core set, cinching inwards with that core, keeping a nice flat back. Let's go for our last one. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift and hold it here. Keep breathing. You can do it. And back down. Well done. You can go into another child's pose, releasing off the tension. Well done. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs from here. So coming onto your back, shoulders are flat against your mat. Pelvis is in neutral, so we'll show you how to do that from here. So take your fingertips on your hip bones. From here, I want you to start tilting your pelvis up and down. As you do this, you're going to imagine there's a marble between your belly button and your pubic bone. As you're shifting those hips, it's rolling from one to the other. You're going to slow those rocks down until that imaginary marble lands in the middle of the two, and that's your neutral pelvis. You have a small space between your mat and your back, and that's what you want to hold from here. Make sure your arms are nice and flat, shoulders are away from the ears, chin is down like you're holding a small ball between the chin and the chest. We're just going to be doing some leg slides today. So this is diastasis recti safe, okay? So if you do have that wider gap, you can do this. It's fine. So we're going to start with the right side first. We're going to be gliding the leg against the floor and then bring it back to center. We're going to be using the breath, so we're sure we're using the core to do this. So as we extend the leg, we exhale through the mouth. And then inhale to bring it back in. Other side. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it in. Keep going with that. Keep your ribs down. So watch that your back isn't arching off when you glide the leg. So consciously drive those ribs down towards your hips. So try to really lengthen the leg away from you as well. When you're extending it, straighten it as much as you can, like it's being pulled at the end of your mat. So these are heel slides that we're doing. Let's just do a few more. So we're safely progressing. Every session is going to get a little harder each time. And if it gets too hard for you, you can always redo the previous session. It's really your own personal practice. Everybody is different. Everyone will progress differently. And you always have to listen to your body, especially as a postpartum mom. Last one on each side. And back to center. Well done. We're going to go into some knee drops. So this is going to work our pelvic floor and some deep core as well. I used to do these. I have a 6-year-old at home, so I was once upon a time postpartum mom, and I still feel like I do things to really try to keep my core and pelvic floor healthy and to keep strengthening them. So let's keep our knees bent with our feet hip width apart. We're going to start by, I'll do the left side first so you guys can see. We're going to be dropping the knee down to the side with our exhale, and then back up to center on our inhale. You're not just doing it to do it. So you want to be conscious about what muscles you're working, and I want you to really use your mind-body connection when you do this, okay? So I want you to also squeeze your pelvic floor. So like we're doing those little pelvic floor lifts, when you open up that leg, let it go for a second at the bottom, and then I want you to squeeze it again to bring that knee back up, all right? So let's get into it. Starting with the left side, let's just drop the knee down with the exhale. Squeeze your pelvic floor. Hold it here for a second, let your pelvic floor go. Squeeze your pelvic floor and inhale to bring it back up. Let's go to the other side. Exhale to drop, squeeze your pelvic floor. Hold it for a second, release your pelvic floor, and let's bring it back to center. Okay, let's keep going with that. You also don't want your your opposite hip to lift off the mat to drop the knee, okay? So just make sure when you're dropping the knee down, you're not lifting yourself up, okay? If you can't open it very wide, that's fine. You want to just come down as low as you can without that opposite hip lifting up, okay? Let's keep going, just a few more. This is also going to be good to release those hip flexors. The hips get a lot of trauma when we're having babies, carrying babies. So keep going. Let's do one more on each side. Last one. And back to center. You can bring the knees into your chest and roll side to side. A few deep breaths here. And place the feet back to the mat. Okay, we're going to finish off here for today with our glute bridges. So glute bridges are going to be amazing for re-strengthening the glutes, which definitely needs some work after you had a baby, trust me, I know. So we want to do some glute bridges, which is also going to work our pelvic floor, and you're going to keep your core engaged for this one as well, so working our deep core. So let's bring our arms by our sides, feet hip width apart. From here, we're going to press our hips directly up to the ceiling. Hold it for a brief moment at the top. You're squeezing the glutes, and you want to make sure you're not over bridging. So some people will try to over bridge. You don't want to do that. You want to stop where you have a nice slope from the knees to the chest. Your ribs are flattened down because you're cinching those abs inwards, and you have a nice straight spine at the back. And then we just bring our hips straight back down, okay? Let's keep going with that. Up, down on your inhale, up on your exhale, down on your inhale. Keep going. Let's do 3 more. 2. 1 more. And bring it down. Well done. Let's do a little stretch. Cross your left foot over your right knee and bring your right leg up to get into your glute, your hip. This feels really good if you have sciatica. So let's just hold this. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Just enjoy the nice release. A few deep breaths here. You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. You deserve this time for yourself to reconnect with your body. Let's go over to the other side. So right foot over left knee, left leg comes up. You feel a nice release in that glute. Take your hands behind your thigh. Bring it in. You are finished for today. Well done, guys. You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.